Hello there, and welcome to Daniel's Infinite Playlist. And today we're going to talk about Marissa Nadler's amazing album July that was actually released in 2014. So, who is Marissa Nadler? Well, Marissa Nadler is a folk singer from the United States who has actually made a name for herself because of her deeply personal and also kind of like storytelling songs that mix this amazingly traditional elements of folk, but also weaving them with extreme black metal ambience and also some strands of dream pop as well. That is why I love Marissa Nadler so much, because she manages to blend all of these things seamlessly, and she has an extremely original sound as well. Plus, her voice is also so amazing and expressive. So, how is it to listen to this album? Well, it's a bit like this. So yeah, now I'm going to show you the CD boxing, which I have here. As you see, this is the Sacred Bones version. I opted to buy this one because I didn't like the Bella Union version, which is, well, it doesn't have the same aesthetic that the Sacred Bone Records has. For example, it says July here and an LP recorded in 2013, and also we have the inside, which has like the credits and all of that. Quite simple. It says it's mixed by Randall Dunn and all songs written by Marissa Nadler, and also some other credits. And also the booklet is it's very simple. It's like that. There are no song lyrics, unfortunately, but you can actually hear them quite clearly when you listen to the album, so I don't see any problems with that. And also, like the typical Sacred Bones design for records. So yeah, the actual review. Well, this album actually shifted a minor change in Marissa Nadler's songwriting. She had gone from being just this very country poppy, and I'm just saying country pop in the lightest sense of the word, in her self-titled album, Marissa Nadler. And then she underwent all of these changes and added some darkness to her sound, and that's also thanks to Randall Dunn, who is a very amazing producer who has produced for Sun O, and I think Wolves in the Throne Room, and also some other like folk slash indie musicians. But here it's in this album that his and her work actually come along together. But I don't think it's mostly Randall Dunn's work. I mean, the whole album is just Marissa Nadler. I mean, without her, you lose like the whole character of the album. So yeah, how is this album musically? Well, Marissa Nadler described this album as being like a drive-through, like driving through the Nebraska nature, or just being alone in a candlelit night in a New York apartment. And I think that actually quite suits the record perfectly, because this record has like a cool and wonderful warm folk ambience, but it's also very, very cold. I mean, there are some like minor synths in the mix. Otherwise there's just only like acoustic ambience, and yeah, and you can certainly feel, I mean, while listening to the album, that you're in the same room as Marissa, and that's actually a very amazing feat that this record has. That you feel that you're in the same space as her while she's telling you all of these stories. So how is it lyrically? Well, lyrically, this album has like a ton of different themes. Themes of desire, of longing for loved ones and for hating loved ones, and also, just feeling the amazing feeling of driving, as for example, in the song aptly named Drive, she just explains this feeling, this nostalgic feeling of driving, you know, just without having nowhere to go, and that just feels so amazingly nostalgic in some way. It's very beautiful. And my personal favorite of the album is, of course, Nothing in My Heart, which is the last song, and it actually tells of, you know, just being emotionally drained from an awful experience. And it's just such a beautiful album, and that's also where Marissa Nadler succeeds in just telling these stories that feel so mature and modern as well, but you know, they get this ancient vibe thanks to the music. And it feels sometimes that Marissa Nadler is telling the story from a third person's point of view. So that also kind of gives it like this story slash tale quality to all of these songs. So yeah, what do I give this album? Well, I give it a 9 out of 10. It's clearly a very amazing and classic indie folk record that was also released in 2014, and I feel that so many more musicians are gonna be inspired and influenced by this album while creating some new music. And it's an essential Marissa Nadler album. Now, I don't think that Marissa Nadler has done a single bad album, but I think if you want to start with Marissa Nadler, then start with this one, because it's amazing. And also, now that the summer and springtime season is coming, you'd feel like this is more of a winter record, but you know, it's also quite summery. It's very, you know, like relaxing to listen to as well. So yeah, enjoy this album by all means, because it's an amazing album through and through. I'm not so much for folk or acoustic or guitar music in general. I mean, I love my electronic stuff, but this album just ticks all of the right boxes. I love it. Anyways, as always, I'm going to put the artist links down below. Marissa Nadler is available everywhere. And if this is your first video with me on it, then I thank you so much for watching this. And if you really like this, then please give me a like and subscribe, and stay tuned for next Tuesday, where I'm going to do a new album review. And of course, next Saturday is gonna be accompanied by a classic album review. So yeah, that's it for me. Enjoy music, enjoy life, people. Hej då!